Yeah. So Trump's pushing a conspiracy theory. Here's another headline. Forbes, Trump argues with South African president falsely claiming genocide of white farmers. Here's one more. Trump's Oval Office is a danger zone for world. Yeah, it is a danger zone for a bunch of criminals and awful people. You come in there, you're not getting the Joe Biden treatment where we just grovel at your feet. We're the United States of America, and we're bringing morality back and greatness. But those are the headlines. The headline should read, Trump shows evidence of genocide in Oval Office meeting, because that's what happened. Now, I'm not going to play too many clips. It would go on forever. The meeting it was like 20 minutes that we saw on video. And at one point, when they were saying what these headlines are saying, there's nothing to do with genocide. Donald Trump had a screen brought in and played footage to these people's faces, to the South African committee there and the president, to the journalists in the room. He played a clip of these cars, long line of cars showing up, and all these white crosses. And there were about 1,000 crosses, and those were all white farmers who'd been killed in this genocide. So we brought the receipts, and that's what you have to do with the left, because they'll just deny all day. You have to bring the receipts and set them up for it like Donald Trump does in these meetings. He comes prepared. You cannot come unprepared and debate a leftist. You've got to anticipate their denial. You've got to anticipate their arguments, and then you've got to show the receipts to their face and watch them hang their heads in humiliation. And that's what he did in this meeting. It's a masterclass. This is how everyone has to deal with the left. He also played this clip of the South African government, political officials calling for the killing of whites in South Africa, because this isn't happening, right? Listen to this.
But we are starting with this whiteness. You are cutting the throat of whiteness in Ghana. Shoot to kill Yamaza. Kill the Brewer, the farmer. Kill the Brewer, the farmer.
See here, so chanting, calling for cutting the throats, and so on and so forth. Now, what's amazing is the South African president brought a couple like white golfers with him or something like that from South Africa, I guess to show that, we're all good here. There's no racial violence. And this white golfer actually spoke up and told the story that he knew from his father about this very thing they're denying is happening in South Africa. Listen to this.
I grew up in an area in South Africa that is a farmland area, Polokwane. Yeah. And there is some issues up there. Obviously, my dad was a property developer as well as a part-time farmer. And yeah, some of these buddy farmers got killed. The farm is still going. My brothers run it. But it's a constant battle with farms they're trying to burn the farms down to chase you away. So it is a concern to try and make a living as a farmer. And at the end of the day, without farmers, there's no food on the plate. So we need the farmers to produce the food.
Farming, right? He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't even want to do what you're doing, right? They love farming. They don't want to leave. But it's a struggle.
Yeah, and food and fresh water is the most important thing in life. Without those two things, you can't survive.
How is the water there?
The water is great. Obviously, all the water comes out of the borehole, out of ground for us down there. But yeah.
I just, my hat's off to Trump. It's so refreshing watching him, and he is a new person in some ways. He's just more sure of himself. He's less defensive, even though he had every right to be defensive in the past when he was getting attacked by these. He just knows how to deal with them now.